Hello everyone, we are Group 2 and we will be talking about what we came up with for the project Tokyo Inbound, creating a new tourist experience. Our group came up with the Shitamachi tour in Tokyo to allow tourists to experience another side of Tokyo. We will be talking about current situations and statistics, problem, our actual plan, solution, anticipated impacts, overall limitations, and finally conclusion.
First of all, I will introduce the concept of Shitamachi. Tokugawa Ieyasu had made Shitamachi in Tokyo since 1590. So Shitamachi has a long history. Originally, Shitamachi is a place where merchants, shonin, live in. The merchants love their hometown, Shitamachi. Therefore, in Shitamachi, the real traditional Japanese atmosphere has been left. These days, Shitamachi is famous for tabearuki. For example, please look at this korokke picture. This is Asakusa korokke. In addition, I will introduce the current situation for the tourist experience in Tokyo. Many visitors go to Shinjuku, Ginza, and etc. In Tokyo, there are three major tours for visitors. Firstly, the Central Tokyo Tour. In this tour, visitors go to Tokyo Tower or Scramble Crossing in Shibuya. Secondly, electronic appliances and anime, mainly in Akihabara. In this tour, visitors do shopping in high-tech Tokyo. Thirdly, Tokyo Food Tour. In this tour, visitors eat washoku, sushi, or ramen. From these, I mean that foreign visitors do not go Shitamachi.
Next, we would like to discuss the current situation and statistics for the tourist experience in Japan. The slide before this shows the top 3 areas where foreigners spend their time and money on as of 2020. The most visited places in Tokyo are the places we often come across when looking through the internet. These are places and spots such as Shinjuku, Harajuku, Shibuya, Akihabara, Odaiba, and Sumida. Though these places are great places to visit when tourists are in Japan, it does not truly allow them to experience the Japanese people's in-depth day-to-day life. The area in Tokyo that are currently getting abundant visits are in a way present for tourists to really visit. Shinjuku, for example, is known as an entertainment district in Tokyo with its high buildings and flashy lights, especially at night. As for the type of travel as seen from the data on the previous slide, 76.6% of people preferred to travel to Japan through a separate arrangement instead of a group tour. This may be because they are not contented with what the group tour offers them and would instead choose to travel on their own to be able to go to places they really want to go to, and further experience Japan beyond what the group tour can offer. We would like to then talk about the visit rate ranking by prefecture in Japan. The data on the previous slide shows that as of 2019, Tokyo is rated first as the most visited in Japan, but most tourists still choose to go to areas such as Shinjuku, Shibuya, and Harajuku. This is because that's what's emphasized in websites and the internet when searching for places to go to in Japan. It may also be because these places are known tourist destinations, thus these places are more or less known to be tourist-friendly. As tourists, some may feel like going to areas that are not known tourist destinations may be out of their comfort zone, and so they stick to places where other tourists go as well. However, Tokyo is much more than these places. There are so many places where tourists can feel how life is for locals in Japan. If Shitamachi places are given more emphasis to tourists, they would definitely experience a new kind of travel in Japan.
I'd like to talk about the current problem. Japanese anime has gained great popularity worldwide, captivating audiences with its unique storytelling, artistic talent, and diverse themes. This popularity has often sparked curiosity among foreign individuals, which has motivated them to explore aspects of Japanese life beyond anime and manga. Also, as depicted in the chart, more and more tourists have shown interest in Japanese culture and history. These visitors are often seeking a deeper and more authentic experience when visiting a foreign country like Japan, desiring to go beyond the surface level attractions and delve into hidden gems and lesser known aspects of the country. They aim to immerse themselves in the local culture and lifestyle, gaining insights that only locals can provide. In spite of these demands for local experiences, most foreign people visiting Tokyo are often going to Shibuya, just saying hello to Hachiko and gazing at people in the Shibuya Scramble crossing. The problem is that there is a lack of connection to local information. For many tourists visiting a foreign country, accessing local information can be quite challenging. This is why we propose the Shitamachi tour that allows them to access the hidden gems known only to the locals. Seeing is believing. When it comes to experiencing a new culture, nothing compares to witnessing it firsthand. Through the Shitamachi tour, visitors can connect with locals to gain insider knowledge and receive personalized recommendations that truly improve their visit. Shitamachi, the historic downtown areas, offer an authentic glimpse into everyday life. Exploring these charming neighborhoods allows tourists to experience the local lifestyle, traditions, and real atmosphere in Japan.
So now, I would like to introduce one specific example of Shitamachi tour. Once again, I would like to confirm who the target audience is for this tour. The target audience for this tour is foreigners who have visited Japan several times and have a basic knowledge of Japan. And furthermore, tourists who want to visit and get to know more than just tourist attractions. Furthermore, even now that overseas travel restrictions have been eased, I anticipated that demand from tourists who do not want to visit basically crowded places such as Shinjuku, Shibuya, and Odaiba will exist even now. Now, let me review the conditions necessary for this tour to satisfy customers. The tour must be a traditional, nostalgic cultural experience of downtown Tokyo. In addition, it should include elements that can pique the interest of geeky foreign tourists. Routes should be designed to allow easy access to each destination. Furthermore, tourists who choose such a tour are likely to be interested in the history of the downtown area and its current economic role. I have come up with a model plan that includes these elements. First, we will gather in the vicinity of Tokyo Skytree, which is accessible from various train lines, and initiate an ice-breaking session where the tour guides and clients can communicate and confirm the plan for that day. This session allows both parties to clear up any questions they may have. Afterwards, we will walk to the Asakusa area to explore the typical downtown Tokyo location, Sumidaku. Traditional craftsmanship and handicrafts have taken root in downtown Sumida World. For example, Sumida World is home to a number of Buddhist altar-fitting craftsmen in the precincts of Sensoji Temple and doll craftsmen in Asakusa's Ningyocho district, whose traditional skills are utilized in the production of products and crafts. Therefore, this is the perfect place to explain the economic role of the downtown area. This is on the way from the Skytree to Sensoji Temple and can easily be visited on foot. They will go to Nakamise Street, frequented by downtown Shitamachi children in the olden days, to eat monjayaki, a type of fried food especially enjoyed in Shitamachi people, Tokyo. After that, we will take a 15 minutes bus ride to Nippori Station. Since buses in Tokyo are uniformly priced, this is a good option from the perspective of inexpensive sightseeing. The last place we will visit is Yanaga Ginza, where you can take beautiful pictures and do some shopping. And then they will split up there.
Now, we would like to talk about research commitment regarding space. Since we have decided on a tour, our Tokyo Shitamachi tour would not be taking up any space. We have created a new tourist experience with the help of existing places here in Tokyo, specifically the Shitamachi area. We will be taking up spaces when we bring the tourists to certain places, but only for a specific amount of time. With this, we will only take in a specific number of tourists per tour to avoid problems relating to having more people than what we could handle.
Now, I would like to introduce to you the buddy system that accompanies the Shitamachi tour plan. The Shitamachi tour buddy system is a volunteer-based initiative designed to enhance the tourist experience in Tokyo's traditional downtown neighborhoods. This proposal aims to connect local Japanese volunteers with tourists, which provides them with an opportunity to explore the Shitamachi areas accompanied by knowledgeable and enthusiastic companions. The buddy system aims to foster cultural exchange, facilitate authentic experiences, and also create meaningful connections between locals and the visitors. So, how exactly does the buddy system connect with the tour? So, the proposition of the system seeks to address an unmet need for tourists who desire a more personalized and immersive experience while exploring Tokyo's Shitamachi neighborhoods. Many travelers seek authentic interactions and insights into local culture, but they may face language barriers or a lack of familiarity within the area. So, the buddy system serves as a bridge which will enable the tourists to navigate the Shitamachi district with the guidance of locals who have a deep understanding of the culture, history, and hidden gems of the area. However, there also exist some limitations that we should be aware of. These include the following. The first one is availability in local bodies. Well, the success of the buddy system heavily relies on a pool of willing and dedicated local volunteers. The number of available buddies and their commitment levels may vary, which would make an impact on the availability of the program. The second limitation is language and cultural barriers. While the buddy system aims to overcome language barriers, variations in language proficiency may, among volunteers, might limit the scope of interactions with non-Japanese speaking tourists. Therefore, careful matching and clear communication channels would be crucial to manage expectations and to maintain the quality of the system. The last limitation that I'd like to introduce is balancing demand and supply. Ensuring a balanced ratio of buddies to tourists and managing booking logistics can be very challenging, which will be particularly challenging during peak travel seasons. Therefore, implementing efficient systems and leveraging technologies will then be essential to meet the potential demand. And following, I would like to mention the financial structure, which are the resource commitment for implementing the buddy systems. This will include first human resources. So volunteers will be obviously required to serve as buddies, who will dedicate their time and knowledge to accompany tourists. The recruitment and also providing training and also ongoing support system will be needed to establish and to ensure the effectiveness of the program. The training may include language skills, cultural knowledge, and also guiding techniques. Second is communication and platform development. Building a user-friendly online platform to connect tourists and buddies, facilitate bookings, and manage feedbacks will be essential. This will require investment in website development, maintenance, and communications infrastructure. And also marketing and promotion. Adequate resources will be needed to raise awareness about the Shitamachi tour and the buddy system, and which will be able to attract both tourists and also potential local buddies. This may include digital marketing companions, partnership with traveling agencies, and also target outreach to tourist communities. Revenue can be generated through tour fees, sponsorships, and donations. The revenue will help with covering the system's operational costs and provide ongoing support to the program coordinators and other essential resources. Additionally, partnerships with local business and community organizations can also be considered, which will foster a sense of ownership and participation, ensuring the longevity and success of the buddy system.
Our project Tokyo Shitamachi Tour is an environment-friendly project. First, it can decrease carbon dioxide emissions. Public transportation systems typically have higher passenger capacity and are more efficient. This means they can carry more passengers while consuming the same or less energy, thus producing fewer greenhouse gas emissions than private cars. According to the information from Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism, private cars are still the primary source of carbon dioxide emissions, with about 22 million tons in 2022. Although carbon dioxide emissions have decreased over the past years, we still need to focus on protecting the environment, which can help us achieve sustainable development goals. In Tokyo, the train is the primary way of travel, with the lowest per passenger's carbon dioxide emissions below that of private cars. Second, the Japanese people also have good attitudes towards foreigners. Surveys show that about half of the Japanese people have had contact with foreigners at one time or another. This suggests that they know how to deal with foreigners and are not too likely to resist them deliberately. This is friendly for our project, so we can ask local people when in trouble. Third, Japan government supports traveling. Due to the impact of the new coronavirus on the economy and the need for people to go out, the government hopes to improve economic development by supporting travel. By entering the National Travel Assistance Project, we can get discounts when booking hotels and getting government subsidies. This can save money from budget. In addition, safety is an important point when traveling. According to the survey, Japan's social security is among the highest in the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development countries. The number of reported crimes in Japan peaked at 3.69 million in 2022 and has since been on the decline. According to the Ministry of Justice 2012 White Paper on Crime, a major contributing factor is the ongoing reduction in the thefts, which account for over half of reported crimes. Meanwhile, the National Police Agency announced that reported crimes in 2013 totaled 1.32 million, and the figures dropped for an 11th consecutive year. This is much lower than other popular tourist destinations.
We would then like to talk about anticipated impacts. For anticipated impacts, we have thought of a few impacts that our Shitamachi tour can have. First, there may be an increase in tourists. Our Shitamachi tour targets tourists who are greatly interested in deeper Japanese life, so there may be an increase in tourists who are greatly interested in Japanese culture, especially the traditional Shitamachi culture. Second, there may be an increase in the revenue of local shops. This is because with the Shitamachi tour, there may be an increase in the revenue for the shops located at the Nakamise Street and Yanaka-Ginza Shopping Street, for example. Third, tourists will be able to see a different side of Tokyo from what is usually seen and experienced. Fourth, the people will be able to create connections with the buddy system. Volunteers and people who have joined the tour will be able to connect with one another and create a bond they wouldn't have had if they did not join the tour. Lastly, our project will increase the attractiveness of Tokyo. Tokyo is already a tourist destination. The high buildings, beautiful city views, and abundant shopping places attracts tourists to come visit Tokyo. With the Shitamachi tour, tourists will be able to experience another beautiful side of Tokyo. We also would like to briefly talk about the overall limitations we have thought of. First is the potential limitations with the body system as stated in the previous slide. Second is the weather. The Shitamachi tour is mostly held outside, therefore the weather may affect how the tour will push through, because weather can be very unpredictable. However, we would make sure to be prepared for every situation we may face for this tour. Third is price. Depending on the situation of the economy, the fee for the tour may change, therefore it is hard to come up with a specific fixed price. Since we are a business, we have to adjust to the situation of the economy to be able to thrive in the business world. The fourth limitation is statistics. The statistics shown for the current situation are mostly from 2019, as those were the data available from Japan National Tourism Organization. It may be a little different for 2023, but it's still useful as it is from the trusted organization. Lastly, limitations regarding financial structure. There may be possible hardships with partnering up with local businesses and community organizations because it takes time to gain the trust of the people and businesses. In conclusion, we have decided to create the Shitamachi tour for tourists to see another side of Tokyo. We want to give importance to the Shitamachi culture of Japan, and we want to give the tourists the opportunity to connect with the locals and gain deeper knowledge about life in Japan. The tourists will be able to have a glimpse of everyday life in Japan. Our Shitamachi tour would also create connections between volunteers and tourists who participate in the tour through the buddy system. This tour will not only give the tourists a new experience in Tokyo, but would also allow them to create lifelong connections with people from different parts of the world. Thank you.